Oscar and Rachel, created by Anusha, Kriti, and Eesha, read by Kriti and
Anusha. Once upon a time in Africa, there lived two beautiful children named Oscar and Rachel. They lived with their father and stepmother in a rendezvous, which is a house for poor people. They were poor and had no food. Soon there was a famine, and they did not have enough food for all of them.
So the stepmother had a plan. She knew that the two parents wouldn't be able to take care of even themselves. So she decided to go to the woods with Oscar and Rachel and leave them there with an excuse. But Oscar heard it all. That night, the stepmother told their father about her plan. The father couldn't believe his wife could think like this, but her pastoring made him agree. Luckily for the children, they knew the whole plan and were already finding a way out.
The next morning, the stepmother said, "Come out, children, time to collect woods for the day." So they stepped outside. Oscar hid pebbles in his pocket. As the family walked, Oscar started dropping the pebbles to mark the trail. The parents followed their plan and ran away. The children were waiting for their parents, but they just wouldn't come up. When it was dark, Rachel got very scared and began to cry.
Oscar reassured her and told her that when the moon comes out, the pebbles will shine and they will find their way back home. It was about time for the moon to rise and the pebbles started to sparkle. They followed the path. The pebbles started to sparkle. They followed the path and found their beautiful home. They stepped inside and danced around the roundabout. When the stepmother saw the children, she was very surprised. They had to reset their whole plan. The next day, instead of using pebbles, Oscar used breadcrumbs. The moon came out and they didn't find the crumbs. A monkey ate them all. They started wandering around and saw a house made up of bobati. They were so hungry. They started munching on pieces of the house. A nice lady stepped out and treated them with delicious, healthy salads.
It was time for them to sleep, and the lady prepared their beds. When she was done, they hopped on. They were both asleep. Rachel woke up with the sound of tiptoeing. It got louder and louder every second. The lady came into the room and picked Oscar up. She locked him into a cage. Rachel knew she was an evil witch and tried to get him out. Instead, the witch made Rachel do chores and listen to her commands.
Every day, the witch treated Oscar with bobati and salad to fatten him up so she could eat him. She always made him stick out his finger to check how chubby he is. Although Oscar was a very smart boy and stuck out a bone from his meals, the old witch couldn't see very well and did not know it was a bone.
She didn't understand why Oscar wasn't still puffy enough. She couldn't wait any longer and commanded Rachel to start the fire in the oven. "I'm going to eat your brother." Rachel knew the witch would not be smart enough to understand her plan. So she sat still and didn't start the fire. "What's taking long?" the witch shouted. Rachel said, "It's not starting." The witch got so frustrated. Rachel said, "It's not starting." The witch got so frustrated that she went to start the fire herself. As soon as the fire started, Rachel pushed her in. She quickly freed Oscar from his cage, and they both explored the house together. They found treasure with gold and jewels in the witch's room. They found their way back home, and their parents were happy to see them after all these days, and they all lived happily ever after.
The end.